Damn it, Bobby.
Who's Bobby?
So are you Chinese or Japanese? Oh, okay. No.
Yeah, I'm assuming you're talking to Doran because I'm neither.
Yeah, we can clearly see that you're neither.
Yeah, I got it. Whitest guy in the room every time, everywhere.
Is it always? But yeah, no, showed Darn one of my favorite shows of all time. It's King of the Hill. And it's like a bunch of rednecks in Texas. It's the funniest.
Arlington, Texas.
Yeah, they're in Arlington, Texas.
You hadn't seen King of the Hill yet?
No, I have, but I kind of was thinking that I'm not gonna ever watch it again.
It's such a funny show. It has this like cute small town ideals, but it's so backwards, like redneck bullshit.
So on the show, do you guys do like, hey, this is the island, or is it just like we just dive right in?
Did we do it last time? I think we kind of did.
Yeah, that's fine.
Yeah, but we actually wanted to talk about the island, like the actual idea, because I think we didn't elaborate yet. Last time.
Oh shit! You want to talk about why you called it the island?
Yeah. Because we did actually, I think we did just talk about it like briefly, right?
Yeah, I think so.
No, tell
What's up, everybody? This is Scotty Apollo.
Scotty Apollo
on the island.
On the
island.
I'm the guest. These are the hosts.
Really close. Man.
Slash.
Oh my gosh.
So why is it called the island?
You guys tell me.
Are we starting there?
Yes, we already started.
Okay, I was talking about King of the Hill. I don't know when we.
The island is the show too, so you can like.
It's our show.
Yes. So it's still a show,
what we should
right?
really do is we should make a reality show called The Island and just put a bunch of cameras in the.
Wasn't there too hot to handle about that too? The island, they were in the island too.
Oh, there's such a nice island in that show. Did you watch it?
Tell the people why the fuck you called the show The Island, because I know.
Exactly. Tell it all.
And neither of you are talking about it.
Yeah, we're like,
and I'm not even the main thing on the show. Even though I'm in the middle.
So the reason why we call the show The Island is because me and Don were so sick of all the bullshit that's going on that we decided.
Especially with what's going on?
Yeah, with everything like COVID, quarantine.
Fuck COVID.
Donald Trump. Joe Biden. All of these things combined.
Bernie Sanders. Biggest sellout all time.
All time.
All time.
So all time. All this shit together.
Not all time, but like he's up there.
Who's a bigger sellout?
Obama's pretty big, but not as like on the radar. I think Clinton's. I mean, like I feel like you know what I mean. He's like that might be the biggest public sellout. Okay, that's biggest public sellout. Who actually sold out the most? Probably Clinton's at this point. I guess.
Whoever is in the.
I don't know
Jeffrey Weinstein.
Oh, Jeffrey Weinstein?
Yeah, less.
You just got that name mixed up. Two terrible people.
Two terrible people,
but that guy's not real. Jeffrey Weinstein.
I'm pretty sure he's real. I'm pretty sure
he's probably a real person, but not the one that you're referring to.
He's not the one
you like combine
about,
the evil, and it's become more evil.
Oh my god! It's like both of them had an evil child together.
They are.
Weinstein and Epstein hung out. We know that.
Oh yeah,
so,
yeah.
That
was.
And they're saying it was a suicide.
Of people who were like supposedly on that list, like how many celebrities?
Sure, I don't know the names, but I do know that Weinstein was known to like give them what they wanted. So like that was his whole thing. You gave him the thing, and then like he gave you what you wanted.
Right.
No, that's the Weinstein.
So,
but the Einstein. Jeffrey, who's the
Einstein? You're just making up fucking
names.
It's
Jeffrey.
Epstein.
Dude. Oh, yeah, Epstein. Exactly.
You fucking
no one's
trying to
named
think of you almost said Einstein.
Yeah, that would be the closest.
Don't fuck with Einstein.
Yeah, don't get his name mixed up in this shit.
Yeah.
He's the second.
He's like in the middle somewhere.
Yeah, no, it's Epstein and
Epstein.
What's the pig? Weinstein.
They're both pigs.
Yeah, but one is a.
One literally looks like one, and the other one doesn't.
That's true. One is a physical pig. He looks like the pig. What was the anime you showed me?
He looks like a guy when you look at him and be like, "Oh, that guy rapes."
Yeah, pretty much. You see him and you're like, "That's him. That's the guy."
That's the Weinstein.
That's the guy.
Before even the article came out.
He looks so bad that you could like smell him.
But that was the thing. Everyone knew too. There was like stories like that. Cosby, like Seth Rogen came out talking about how like he knew about Cosby for a long ass time. It was always just like an unspoken thing.
Yeah, everybody knew that.
People would talk about it, make jokes and shit, but like it would never go public.
You're serious?
Oh yeah, Seth Rogen said it was for like 10 years. this shit.
Yeah, I
Like you
think-
knew that knowledge.
And I wonder what
way
triggered
worse.
Huh?
What triggered that? Because everybody
Me
knew.
too.
Oh, you don't know what triggered that? Hannibal Buress. That's how Hannibal Buress blew up. He had a bit on
Who is that?
Bill Cosby. Hannibal Buress is
a
like
journalist?
stand-up comedian.
and a like comedic actor. He does like a lot of
Yeah, he's an actor,
Eric Andre
so, yeah.
stuff and like he was in a grip of movies. You'd recognize him if you saw him.
Yeah.
But he's just a
like
comedian.
dark black guy.
He's a comedian actor and he's a stand-up comedian and he's a writer.
Because I was
And,
thinking, it might be a journalist or something.
he was grinding for like years doing the whole thing. Like a lot
He
of
did
us
the report, or
do.
he
10, 15 years on like putting content out from my understanding. It could be more or less, I don't know, but let's say 10 for good measure. And then finally blew up when the Bill Cosby bit that he did talking about what Bill Cosby was went viral. So that bit went viral and then people in real life girls started coming out saying like, yo, that joke's fucking true as fuck, this shit happened to me, and started pressing charges. And then from that joke blew up in the media. So what led with that Hannibal Buress then's career
What
like
was the
whole
joke?
thing
Do you
blew
remember the
up.
joke?
I don't remember the joke. But just look up Hannibal Buress Bill Cosby joke.
I'm sure it's a.
And that's what started Hannibal Buress's like mainstream commercial career, and then that's what put Bill Cosby under. And then what started the Me Too movement was after Trump grabbed the pussy, and then he pointed
Oh,
at
it was
when.
just recently.
Yeah, that's when he pointed at Hollywood.
Yeah, exactly. And then in rebuttal, he was like, "You think I'm a problem? Look at all of these people." And then
Yeah,
that's when
burst the
Weinstein
bubble,
happened,
that
and it
was-
just trickled, and then from there, that's when that happened.
Yeah, I find it strange that nothing else has really come out other than what we've seen. Like we got Bill Cosby, we got Weinstein, we got
Epstein.
Yeah, we got Epstein. We got Einstein. We got all of them.
All of the
I
Jews.
mean, I don't really know the details on like how.
But
Like,
my
and
point
who
being
was
is that
involved
there's
beyond that,
probably
but-
so many more people.
Yeah,
Because
but that's also in
literally-
every industry, also beyond entertainment. Like you look at commercial real estate, probably worse. Like to be honest, like you look at
'Cause it's all behind
tech,
closed doors.
for sure. Where like tech people get ran through and shit, dude. Like especially because you have people just chasing big money in those industries too, beyond the creative side.
Right.
Like at least entertainment, they're also dealing with the arts and entertainment like that. But that's also just its own crazy world and it's out of itself. But you deal with just straight up hardcore numbers and tech and commercial real estate. All those people get ran through. It just
Yeah,
goes
they
back to
always do
it
the
goes down to
orgies
like
and
frat and sorority stuff too, where you get like that's why those people trickle into those jobs, in my opinion. Like this, my opinion is that like that lifestyle and what that conforms you into being as a person by breaking your integrity with a certain group of people and then getting oppressed and built to just like shape yourself into some weird cookie cutter thing. And then like you're at that point so broken that you just go into this machine of just fucking like money, grind, and your integrity's already gone from like all that shit, and then they fucking like move up and shit.
That would make you an ant, Scott.
An
That would
ant?
make you an ant.
Special
We'll come
ant.
back to ants. We'll talk.
You have a term for that type of thing?
Yeah, we already have a thing about
okay.
it. Yeah, we got
term.
Damn, that's
Yeah.
a dark term, but it makes sense.
It's really fucked
It's
up.
very demeaning.
It is very demeaning, but it's very accurate.
So I have a mate.
Wait, hold on. I think that leads to a really good point as to why we call this the island. With all this negative shit going on, we call it the island because Darn and I are getting an island. Period.
I'm not hating. I'm here.
Yep, we're getting the island.
Get it out.
This is the intro to the island. We're gonna have guests on the island, and then eventually we'll move to a real island and do the podcast from there.
And we're gonna
From far,
take
far
people.
away.
Qualified people.
Yeah, we can qualify you for living on the island. There's like
I already qualify. I
living
pre-qualify.
expenses.
You gotta
There's
sign up the application.
There's background check, but it's not the kind you're used to. Totally different island.
Wow, sounds pretty fucking.
I watched The Big Short
Pretty-
yesterday.
Yeah, it's pretty intense. It's like the island without money.
Without the
I
social
understand.
norms.
Right. There's
The
yeah,
known social norms.
yeah, we're changing the social norms. We have our own social norms.
Okay.
It's not gonna be a cult. I'm telling you, it's not gonna be a cult.
It's not a cult. That sounds wild.
But
So much more.
I had that
free-flowing
idea about
than
the actually creating like the Matrix cult, and apparently a lot of people are not against joining the cult,
What?
but not a cult, but like a vision, like
That we're in some
a real-
simulation or whatever.
Yeah,
and we're
just,
all plugged into some fucking vacuum sealed fucking like water container with the thing plugged into
Just,
the back of our
it-
thing, and this is just a.
That's just a
Whatever it
visual
fucking is.
representation, but yeah. To
for the people who believes in that.
No, I hear it.
Yeah.
I no hate. I just
There's a-
don't think I would join a cult about it. I would just
Yeah.
talk about it.
I think Darn's calling it a cult, but he means religion, which is
Not
technically
religion.
the same.
I call it vision. That's what I said last time.
Vision, religion, cult.
They all sound the
Because
same.
yeah,
fuck are
they
you
merged
doing
it to
right
cult,
now?
but it's not gonna be a cult.
It's
You're just
not a
the
cult,
biggest
but
Matrix fan of all time. Just keep it real.
It's okay. It's a good. I mean,
I
it
think
makes
I'm not
sense.
the only one.
So the
Yeah, I
only reason
agree.
why I think the Matrix theory makes sense or the simulation theory makes sense.
I'm all on board with that shit.
Well, you gotta
I-
think like the world that we live in is so geometrically perfect and mathematically perfect that we have.
Like
to
it was a
live in
I just
cult.
look at it more like primitive in the sense that we're like not manipulated by we're just manipulated by the environment in a way. Like into a point where it's okay, so I guess there's both ways actually where you can look at like actual like
Reality.
actual reality of stuff and like that molecular atom level of things.
Yeah.
That's one conversation, but then you can also look at it another way in a more present sense of how we're oppressed. So like where we start as kids versus what happens through life and age and like all that and what society does. Because like originally when you're born as a kid,
You're
your
like a
natural
blank
instinct is to
program.
run everywhere, jump everywhere you want,
You're just
turn
testing
this
progress.
over and fucking just do shit. Like do your thing. Like there's no filter
Boundaries.
there. But then all of a sudden it's no, you can't jump on the table, which is changing your train of thought. And that's a super
The
basic thing,
boundaries.
but that small thing stacks up with all these little things to then like form you into some like
A person.
force simulated fucking lifestyle that isn't necessarily who you are.
Right.
And that's exactly what programming is.
Programming is, yeah, which is I think 100% real. Like you look at just especially the public school education, and like
So-
also what's happening like our food system. Like a lot of our like genetically modified crops are like calcifying our brains long term and
Yeah.
stuff. Like the lack of actual organic.
You think it's
matter.
actually real?
Yeah, absolutely.
The what?
I've heard about that.
Calcification.
I think
Yeah.
oh, that's real as fuck.
Of your pineal gland?
Yeah,
Absolutely, 100%.
yeah,
it
yeah.
happens.
That's real.
That's why they put the fucking what do they put in our water to make that happen? What is it? They put something in our water.
In
to
the
make that
tap
happen.
water that you
Oh, the fluoride stuff. The
Fluoride.
fluoride's in a lot of stuff, but that definitely stuff
It's in
that
our
doesn't.
toothpaste.
I don't know if
I've
that.
heard
I
a
don't.
lot
Okay, so
about
the
Fluoride's a
thing.
big additive
I don't
to
know
it.
if that was added to the water supply
it's a fact.
intentionally for the actual calcification of the
wouldn't
brain.
Why wouldn't it be?
Because
Why would it be in water naturally?
no, you just
Not
look at
much.
where society was from like getting like clean water sources like to a mass population through a shit ton of like different avenues. Like I think honestly back in the olden days that was just like when that was happening, like
but it's still
that's
happening.
yeah, but what's the solution? There's not much to like get that water out. And I'm not, it's a bad, like get a water filter for sure. Like alkaline the water, like do what you need to do. But just from like, I mean, it comes down to, you could really break it down and say just put more money into that whole thing and figure it out.
How simple is that?
But maybe it's not.
I just feel like
People
it's
are greedy and people need to get paid.
I mean, but that's with so much. But what
Chernobyl
comes
all over
first
again.
too? What comes? I would just say, you know what I mean. There's so many fucking issues.
What do you mean? What comes first?
If there was
That's
actually money being
that's
spent,
needed.
1,000% be top 10. But like,
Water is essential for life. It's like the one thing you need to live. Why shouldn't it be of good quality?
okay, but there could be like 9 other things to protect the immediate like safety and survival
I feel like
of
it's
that population stemming from whatever. Like when you're breaking out funds, and I don't know what the budget is or whatever. But I'm just saying like. From the instance of the micro, like, because like you could still drink that fluoride water and hydrate and health, like, and
Okay.
live.
It's
You know,
not
what I'm saying?
actually
You know what I'm saying? It's not
necessary.
going to kill you. It's long term calcifying your thought process and brain glands to make you more easy to manipulate and like influence and stuff.
So
It makes
But-
sense why they would do it.
yeah, so that someone had to have done it. Then that's my whole.
But I'm saying I
It
think
wasn't
that
done
the fact that
unintentionally.
it affects the brain health
It
was
additional bonus.
after like after the initial implementation of that, and then you deal with there's two sides to where the money goes. You have the corruption of like where actual money goes that's for government purposes and stuff, which is just trash. We all know that. But beyond that point, you then break down like where, because you've still with that system have solved the problem of like getting water a shit ton of people. Like millions.
It comes to the point
that
as a Chernobyl, you know. If it
Yeah.
works, it works. Why would you fix it? Why would you spend extra? Because
there
you
could
know how
be-
the water goes here, right?
there's more immediate issues than beyond
You don't?
the fluoride in the water because it's still clean drinking water. You see what I'm saying? So it's you still have clean drinking water, and if you have clean drinking water and you're good, there's honestly a lot of other stuff that you should focus on beyond that point with how crazy I feel like the world actually is, in my opinion. But so all I'm saying is the fluoride thing is definitely an issue. For sure, I don't drink tap water straight out, and there's that's bad for your organs too, beyond the brain stuff, beyond the calcification. Just not that's just bad for like the whole thing.
And
It's got heavy metals in it, all that whole thing.
Yeah.
Like it's filter, but
yeah, it is a funny taste also.
Yeah, I totally get it. I'm just saying that I think the fluoride additive was not necessarily like a plan. It just came with the afterthought.
I definitely think it was capitalized on.
Yes, exactly.
I don't think it was something.
It was 1,000% capitalized on, which is like a lot of windows, like what just happened with the outbreak. Like it was capitalized on with the stimulus package that was faulty and not real, and just conglomerate the whole. You know what I'm saying? That's how humans work. As soon as there's a space of time that you can like they seize and grab momentum with it, those humans that have that instinct are going to do that. That's what human nature is, unfortunately, for a lot of people. Like, I'm not saying that's what everyone is, and I'm not saying what the world should be or whatever, but that's how this shit's working now. And we could have a bigger awakening long term, but it's not gonna happen in our lifetime. There's gonna be so much shit that has to happen to humans before their natural instinct isn't to fucking obtain. You know what I'm saying? Like take that piece when they see that.
Right.
It's basically kind of like that, but it's weird because we also we all humans I feel like need each other, but then also fucking fight and like hate each other at the same time. Like because like when you look at the worst thing they do to a human, right? When you fuck up in life and they're not gonna kill you. The other option is solitary confinement alone by yourself in the fucking room. You don't touch your feelings.
Well, yeah, absolutely.
So,
consciousness needs other consciousness around it to like be okay.
Yeah, so I'm saying, in fact, of human nature, it's fucking crazy how we need that, but then also fucking like do this at the same time, which I think just proves that we're actual fungus, just eating the planet. Because then we need ourselves, we don't even like ourselves. Because like a fungi would eat a fungi probably. Depending, I don't know.
That's pretty wild fungi.
Yeah,
that sounds like COVID-19.
But no, zoom your fucking thing. Human races are fungi. We're like a fucking watery fucking
That's the
thing.
Matrix. That's what they've been saying. You're like a virus.
You
just
like
spread
a virus
everywhere.
that was set upon this fucking rock.
You call it a virus. I would just call it a fungi because we have actual like fungi makeup or like a fungi ape.
So what's the difference?
But I guess but if that's the case, I feel like we're one gone wrong though because like animals aren't destroying the planet.
Yeah, that makes us alien.
Because there is an ecosystem for the animals.
Okay. So yeah, we could have totally been an experiment then or whatever, or some weird shit happened. Yeah.
We absolutely are.
But we're definitely because we can't.
We're a slave race that had a parent race that is what we call our gods and all that shit, and we were left with nothing, and we had to start over. And now we're just these dumb apes that have relics from old shit, and we're still trying to figure it out, and we think we're smart. We're
like
not.
Ants.
Yeah, we're like ants. We're literally just going around trying to like figure shit out, but we can't see the big picture.
So I had an idea. We're gonna make it.
I think we have the ability to, but it just gets fucking. We're easily manipulated and controlled, and so therefore a lot of people averagely don't.
What in our water, Scott?
It's not. It's not the main issue.
There's a lot of things.
It's a problem. It's a big part of it. It's a problem, but it's like.
Is it a problem though if you don't drink it?
That part.
And I feel like
because it's very easy to avoid.
I haven't seen a lot of people. I haven't seen a lot of people who actually drink it.
It's true. Well, then it just goes back to the problem of the like problem solving thing of like getting that clean water source to a mass amount of populations. Where I think again, capitalism on for sure, but like. I mean, it really just comes down to where the corruption of funds of money go.
Yeah,
in my opinion,
and that's the whole point of the island: no money, no greed,
but
no
problems,
no problems, no money, no greed, no problems. I like that.
Shout out to that soccer player who already did it. Ronaldo. Ronaldo's killing the game.
Living the life on the island.
Yeah, so we're gonna live on the fucking island with no money, and we're just gonna figure it out.
And no problems.
And no problems. We have lots of weed, lots of mushrooms. We'll grow like mushrooms like on a field. It's like, a few acres long. That sounds nice.
Mushrooms something should happen there with mushrooms. You guys already know what I'm talking about. We should all just collab on that.
On what?
I feel like Brad would be down because he gardens all the time. We could all we easily grow mushrooms.
He does.
Oh, no, I'm just saying this whole situation could be that.
He does. I think he does.
Like a lot of people grow their own mushrooms. Like growing your own mushrooms,
it's very easy.
Yeah. Conversation for another time.
Conversation for
You guys
tomorrow.
aren't included.
I was like, what's going on there?
I know. I was looking too. I was
I was
what?
pointing out
I was
their
like,
door,
I can't even
stairs,
see.
and outside, and
'Cause
also
I
to
can
the
see
garden. So it's like, garden, Brad, we could do something
That's
all
so
together.
So yeah,
Excuse me.
gosh, no manners.
No
Talking
manners.
about drugs on our channel. We don't know what those
There
are.
is no drug.
Yeah, we don't do those terrible things. That's how you know when someone's lying when they just start stuttering.
Yes,
You know
and I don't do them either.
yeah, drugs
Never.
are bad for you. I've never even smoked a cigarette or had a drink in my life.
I've actually never
No.
smoked a cigarette, so cheers to that. These two, though.
What a lame ass.
Whatever, I'll take that. I
Isn't
get.
that what they used to say in like the commercials in the 90s? Like if you didn't smoke a cigarette, you remember those awful 90s
Before in 90s, they were saying actually smoking is healthy.
Yeah, I remember all that shit. I mean, I
Okay,
wasn't
maybe
alive
it
for
was like,
that.
it was like early.
I've seen
2000s.
commercials. I wasn't alive.
Because I was
during
like,
that time.
It was
how?
like early 2000s.
No,
Don't you guys
I
remember?
don't need a cigarette. Also, like I would smoke. I smoke a shit ton of weed, but I don't smoke fucking cigarettes.
They're different kind
No
of
hate.
It's a
but,
different
like,
kind of high.
I'm proud. I also never.
There's a lot
tried
of people that will proudly hate cigarette smoking.
I don't proudly hate it.
know
I'm
a
just
lot of
proud I
people.
have. I don't. I'm just proud I haven't smoked one. Like not. I feel like there's not a lot of people who can say that I haven't
but there's a
smoked
lot
one.
of
I've smoked a spliff. I've smoked tobacco. I've smoked a
Oh.
cigar,
No, same thing.
but I haven't smoked a cigarette.
Yeah, it's all those chemicals. That's the problem.
Okay, whatever. It's whatever. Chill out.
So you did smoke a cigarette?
No, but I've smoked tobacco. I haven't smoked a cigarette.
Same shit.
Tobacco
is in a
has
cigarette.
tobacco has.
It's
nicotine.
not the same thing. It's but
The
it's
nicotine's
similar.
in the tobacco.
There's same active ingredients and like ingredients.
I think
You know
I
what
tried
mean?
my first cigarette when I was like,
But you can't say
14.
a fucking dope cigar is the same as a cigarette. There's no way.
because
You can't say
like
a
two different
spliff
animals.
is the same as a cigarette because you're also if you're hand rolling with just fresh tobacco and fucking weed and like what are we talking about?
Yeah, spliff is the actual cigarette that you make yourself.
Yeah.
DIY
I know.
cigarette.
Well,
DIY.
it's you can put weed in it.
Yeah, it's like a joint, but with tobacco.
Oh,
Otherwise,
there
it's
was a
just
special
hand-rolled
term for
cigarette.
that.
Huh?
There was a
Split.
special. It's spliff, right?
Yeah, split.
Yeah, it's spliff.
Or a
What the
moke
fuck?
if you take it out of a bomb.
A moke. Never heard that.
Really?
Moke?
I guess it might be a California thing. You guys aren't okay. I guess we'll put you guys on game on that one. Yeah, it's just so if you fucking it's a spliff but in a bowl on a bomb.
Hmm.
Mock.
A moke.
How do you spell it?
MOKKRE.
No,
Darn
was like,
was like,
Mokre?
I think it's
Mokre?
MOCH like mocha.
Mocha,
but
that's
without
what
the
I was
A.
thinking.
Mocha, but without the A.
I think.
Then it couldn't be Californian thing because I feel like mocha is French. The whole.
It must be a California thing, honestly, because I was surprised you guys said no. I thought it was
Totally
super common.
moke, bro. Let's moke one out. Probably where
Mocha.
Really
sounds
bad
like
for you.
smoke.
Like
Moke
one,
one
like
out.
when you moke it, like when you take the
When
shit
you
out of a
moke
bong.
it.
No, one bong rip of tobacco is like equivalent to like 12 cigarettes or something.
Yeah, that's
Yeah,
how
it's
Joshua
like-
usually smokes.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I mean,
It's like
again,
doing a. Yeah, there's a lot of hate for people who smoke cigarettes, and I get it.
I
It's
just
a really
think it's
bad
a
thing,
fun
and it kills
fact.
People, I totally get that some people die from it. A lot of people die from it. But it's like you're gonna
especially
die
during
anyway.
COVID-19 coronavirus pandemic of
Hey,
2020.
Darn and I are still here. Cheers to that.
But to be honest, I'm hearing weed smokers are having just as much of an issue. It's just lung or smoke inhalation in the lungs.
I
is
think
the
it's so
problem.
individual, you know.
And that part too. It's
smoking
mainly
cigarettes.
individually too.
Because there was
As far as,
Churchill
like,
who was smoking
anatomy.
every day and drinking, and he lived like to 95 or some shit.
Yeah, my thing is you're gonna die when you're gonna die. Period.
That no.
Okay, that's a weird way to put it. You're gonna die when you die, yeah, but you can be like proactive and fucking
I don't think
figure
you can.
shit out to avoid. I
I
mean,
could avoid smoking my whole life.
it depends
and
how
go get
much
hit
you
by a
think.
bus.
It depends.
It's not gonna fucking matter.
That's
when
a
I'm dead.
stupid logic, though. You're
Yeah,
doing,
that's dumb. Yeah, I agree. Because it's not.
What if I enjoy smoking a cigarette?
That's fine.
That's fine. But that doesn't mean you live your life thinking every day that every second at one point you could be ran over by a bus because then you're being scared.
I'm not
Because you
scared
can't-
about it. I'm not worried about it. I'm just like
Because I was thinking
that allows me to enjoy what's happening. And
you still can
decide
enjoy
to
it,
do
but
things.
Still live in the moment and enjoy shit. But I say having a fatalist attitude that like you just die when you die. Because like
that's a fact. You do,
yes,
and you don't get to decide. You don't
But
get
this
to
is
choose.
such a-
I
negative
no
way
that
to
part.
look at it.
I think you somewhat you can't control near like you could control like 20 to 30%. in terms of like just being like healthy and trying to, you know what I'm saying?
I don't think so. I don't think that it matters. That's my point.
If you think it doesn't matter, then fate is a huge role, and like having some like determined life prior to birth would kind of come into play too.
I feel like being proactive and healthy. I'm doing it just for myself because I feel better, and
Yeah, you shouldn't do it because I don't know.
You shouldn't do it just because you want to live to 100 years.
Yeah, you shouldn't. Yeah, you shouldn't be active and eat well and do those things because you're trying to like.
If that's the goal, then yeah, that's not what I'm saying. That's not what I'm saying. I'm
Is
just
it the
saying,
goal though? Because I'm doing.
I mean,
I'm
I think
going to
it
the gym
can
and
always
stuff.
be a part of it because like long term, you're like I'm thinking long term with my health, so I'm going to be healthy. Because like cumulative, that's actually like when you like
That's
change up your
interesting.
nutrition and stuff and are doing like holistic type of medicines, it takes at least a month for any of those regimens to start
I never
working
actually thought about it this way.
because it's just
Really?
naturally
Never.
takes more time. What?
I never actually thought about it this way.
Yeah,
I was
see, my
always doing
thing-
it just for myself, for being, actually.
That's exactly
feeling
how you
better.
should. I think. I don't think that you should do anything in life unless you're doing it out
Or
of
like future
enjoyment or necessity to live. Like obviously, I don't go to work because I enjoy doing it. I do it out of necessity. But there are things that I do in my life, like smoking a cigarette, that I do out of enjoyment, and I don't really weigh the concerns that it has because I'm just.
Because you like it. I have similar things with drinking, with fucking certain weed. It's all the same shit.
I'm just saying there's a lot of hate on cigarettes specifically from people. That it's like, oh, it's so nasty, it's so this.
Because it is nasty.
Well, because you don't really get much of a high off of it.
I do. I get fucking lightheaded
you
like a
do?
motherfucker.
I mean, I get the lighthead thing, but I wouldn't call it a high. You just
It's a
get
head
more
change.
like it's just a switch up of your consciousness a little bit.
It's like, oh.
It's
just switch
not
up.
though. It's no.
Yeah, I think
feel
it's
it.
more placebo too. Because like you might, that's why I'm just like weed all
If
day.
it was a placebo, they would be pumping it full of fucking garbage.
They
do
are.
pump it full of
That's what I'm saying.
garbage.
It's not a placebo.
Oh, I'm saying,
like, if
for
it
sure, I think you're
was-
getting lightheaded, but I think that comes down to person. Like, I think the same conversation can be held for someone like Norman when he says he doesn't feel it at
You're
all.
also the
I
right
don't-
kind of cigarette, darn. I'll turn you on.
No, the thing is, I don't feel any different.
Scott?
just have a cigar if you're gonna do.
It's so expensive.
Not really.
Bullshit.
I didn't even know that part.
I actually smoked like.
I thought I was with you on that one. I was like, well,
I'm not gonna smoke a shitty
Okay, I'm gonna-
cigar.
I'm gonna-
smoke the nicest cigar I can
yes,
smoke.
sir. But I would,
And
if
that's
I was
way
smoking
more
cigars, if I
expensive.
was a cigar smoker, which I'm not, I just have smoked cigars. I
I've done it
fucking
occasionally.
would.
It's all right.
It was
I
fun.
would probably,
lot.
if I did it, yeah, you get like it's a
It
day.
becomes a lot.
It's a day.
Yeah.
if
You gotta put it out.
it's a real one, it's your day. You might get like if you're
But you
doing
just
it a
got
lot,
it.
like you maybe do 2.
Oh.
And honestly, maybe there might be some people that do 3, but like.
But well,
You're not
It reminds
even
me of,
probably
like, cartoons
You're
where
not
they
really
just, like, have
enjoying it
hanging
at
out
3.
their
I feel
mouth.
like you're just like
At that
have
point,
a
you're
problem.
75.
Yeah,
You
yeah.
have no taste buds.
Yeah, you're just
You're about to
yeah.
fucking croak. You're
It's
just like,
keeping you through the ball game. You're fucking.
It's another
"Let's see how long you
cigarette."
do it."
Yeah,
And that's where I want to be.
Alright,
Fucking
well.
3 packs a day, like still
3
here.
packs of cigarettes?
78. Fucking no, I'm just kidding. I
78.
don't. That's so old. I don't want to live past 55.
Really?
That's so old.
55?
55 is still young.
That's young as fuck.
You
You
can
could- you can, like-
55-year-olds I've met that are beyond.
That's because
Help.
they haven't taken care of themselves
Yeah,
and
they
were
enjoyed themselves
stupid
when
and
they were
lazy.
younger.
Yeah, but you could still
I have,
enjoy
like, a different
yourself
perspective from
later
that.
too. You can still enjoy yourself during.
I'm also
young.
so concerned.
And this is not a
with-
cigarette conversation. This is a life thing.
Yeah, this is
like a cigarette commercial.
Yeah, you can fucking, you can still go hard in your fucking
55
early
was- I
life
feel
and
55
like
was super
still
young.
go hard in your later life and find like a way to balance. It's not
think, like, 70.
easy to do, but you can fucking do it.
Yeah. I've seen people fucked up in their 50s, and I'm like, I don't want it.
Yeah,
Because
but that's
they are
their
fucked
fault.
up people.
And there's also genetics that come into play. But like a lot of that is they just didn't fucking take care of
They're
it.
just
Also,
ants.
there's a
Yeah,
lack
but-
of education in older generations. I feel like we came up like the one thing we have through like at this time and during this like time era or day, whatever you want to call it.
2020.
Is our
It's 2020.
our power of
That's
information.
our hashtag. For
We have a
this
power of information that no other human from our understanding of
Ever had.
written history and from what we know, this is the most access to information the human race has ever had during any point in time during our existence.
I don't
So
think
that
it's a
is
good thing.
the one leg up we have as far as like
think
looking back
there
on
is.
other generations when speaking about health, because like other older generations don't have what we have in terms of that knowledge is really what I was getting at, but also you could go bigger picture with that too, obviously.
But the life expectancy isn't necessarily going up, is it?
It's actually gone down.
Yeah, so we have more information and it's gone down. So what does it tell you?
Well, that's how. But the reason it's going down is from our food system and the pollution in the air and the fucking bullshit fucking
drug issues, psychological issues.
Yeah, that part too, because the oppression of social media, things like that, where the internet's taken humanity is in a more depressed, anxiety-driven state, and then you throw toxic food on it.
I think if you compare it state to state, California would be still fine, because people actually take care of themselves here.
Yeah, more so than any other place.
Health is just part of the lifestyle of the California
way.
It's not even
California.
It's it's not a thought. It's just that's
totally.
what you
the lifestyle.
want. You want to go grab the green juice. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's
never wanted to grab the green juice.
I did. Shout out to Good Earth in Fairfax. They got the best green juice ever. I used to fucking go out of my way to get that shit.
I never got the green juice.
I like pressed juices. Pressed juices.
I'm talking about a pressed green juice, fresh. It was a grocery. It was like an all natural food store. It was actually half owned by Whole Foods and half owned by a family. You know what I mean?
I think I passed by it,
was
but I never
fire.
actually
They had really good food and really good pressed juices, fresh every day.
Nice.
For $8.
Yeah, that's the thing.
It's a bill. It's a fucking bill. Yeah.
Because I got a smoothie in Hollywood. It was $9.
See, but that's the other thing is
especially in Hollywood or West Hollywood. Forget about it.
$9 for
Beverly Hills.
A little cup.
Santa Monica and Venice is actually expensive. They're all expensive. But that's part of the thing. But at the same time, you just make your own too. But shout out to the good pressed juice, because you can make a pressed juice that's expensive as fuck, but it won't be fire. I'm just shouting them out because that shit was fire.
Yeah.
Especially if you like ginger, helps your stomach.
So the pressed juice. I mean, you gotta buy some equipment though.
What
yeah, but it's not that bad. You can get one. You can get one for $50. No, you can get one. I've bought one for $50, $60, but it's not that great. Exactly. The good ones are $200.
That's insane.
Yeah, I mean, it just depends on how much you use it. It depends on how much you use it. Yeah, if you're having it every other day,
right,
totally worth it. At the same time, it takes time to juice if you're talking about the juice and shit. But smoothies, easy. Smoothies worth it all day. That's easy.
I wonder where they get their foods though, because
as I fucking haven't been drinking much smoothie, I'm just I'm telling myself to get back on that game.
We were in I think in Malibu, and when we were going back to the city, to LA, there was a stand. There were people selling the fruits and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
That was the best, I think, mango that I ever tried. And I was trying to buy the mango from them, and they wouldn't sell it. They just sell it.
I fucking love mango. Shout out to mangoes.
Mangoes are the
They were so good.
They really help
from Mexico.
Psychoactivity, depending on what drug.
Really?
Because they have a very high content of vitamin C.
Never knew.
Really?
Oh yeah,
mango. Like the orange juice.
Orange is not a mango.
Yeah, mango. I think mango actually has more vitamin C than oranges. Yeah.
Yeah.
Because I was thinking
oranges
the South
don't really have that much.
Yeah, it's a fraud. It's a fraudulent. It's like a marketing.
It's a marketing thing.
Really?
It's
Well, what has the most?
It's just like vitamin D milk.
What has the most vitamin C?
Grapefruit.
No, it wouldn't be a citrus. It would be like a
lemon,
a carrot or a mango. Maybe,
really?
Honestly. Yeah.
But they,
I would say probably
market
carrots,
it to the citruses.
Or maybe it could also be something that we don't even really eat necessarily. Because you also have a herb or something that would be more supplement-driven vitamin C, I would assume. And you could probably find some, you know what I mean? But I don't know. I wish I knew more about extracting vitamin C.
That's why I gotta try Lysol.
Yeah.
Dude, what the fuck? Why am I reading that on my phone? President of the United States announces it's cool to fucking shoot up Lysol and fucking Clorox. Yeah, because I'm busy as fuck and working a lot and got my first debut single just dropped. Go fucking run that up. It's called Relapse. Scotty Apollo. It's taking a lot of time. No, appreciate you. But yeah, no, and shout out to Saucy Extracts, for now. Yes, no, yeah. But anyway. I just found out about it today to answer your question.
Because I've seen it yesterday.
As I get all worked up. I can't believe it happened, dude. Why is that a thing? It's such a distraction.
Why can you not?
I think it happened 2 days ago.
Okay, that's true. I can believe it happened. I believe it happened, but it's just I'm just disgusted that's the fucking.
Get used to it. Get used to it.
Yeah, we live in. Sorry, I know I'm coughing in the mic. It's gonna be. We can cut it out. It's fine, right? We can cut it out.
We're not cutting it out
Can we
anymore
cut this out?
because you said something about it.
Can we cut it out?
No.
We'll cut it out.
No.
No.
So I think it happened 2 days ago. Because he said that 2 days ago, Yesterday he said it was sarcastic, and today was another briefing. The briefing, because I was trying to watch it since he signed the bill today. The briefing was an hour long.
What bill did he sign today? He signed another bill
for some small businesses, but I think they might send us another check.
Small business. What was the first? Is it
Small
care package?
business.
Yeah, they're supposed to send us another month of check, right?
Really?
They might, May 4.
Like what? Is it $2,000 this time? I've been seeing that number.
$2,000 this time.
There were like three or four different scenarios. And I've seen trending UBI on Twitter today.
Oh, really?
They trending UBI.
What is UBI?
It's
Universal
Basic Income.
Basic income.
Wait,
A G
that was a
every
good
month.
question.
Yeah.
Aw.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The thought never crossed my mind.
That was the Andrew Yang
And
thing.
then, well, he renamed it though to
UBI. Before it was like
no.
Before it was like
No, he renamed. No, it was Universal Basic. It's always been Universal Basic. He renamed it to. Oh my god.
No, he renamed it from something to UBI.
What? No, he didn't.
It
It's
was
always,
like
no.
Act or some shit
Universal Basic Income is no. He called it a different term. It was like the maybe it was called the Patriot. It's not the Patriot Act.
No.
It's I'm looking it up because I know.
Yeah, you looked it up.
I'm looking it up.
So the second day he was saying it was sarcastic, Trump.
Right, about the Lysol.
And today I watched the briefing. It was an hour long. He showed up 30 minutes late. There was no questions, and people were like, journalists were asking questions, and they just laughed. And the last question was like, "Are you being sarcastic now?" It was so like dope.
Oh, they all just like
Yeah,
one by one. They left.
just left right away.
Oh,
So they were
shit.
like 30 minutes late. The briefing was like for 30 minutes, even it's Friday, the end of the week, for the
They
market.
were like, "We're going home. Fuck this shit."
They just
No
left.
way.
Wait, who left? The media?
Yeah, the
Good for
briefing.
them.
Oh, because they knew he was full of shit, or what?
Because he finally admitted
Or-
to it.
What was he
said
say?
it
Well,
live.
I wish I watched it. I've not been fucking.
I've seen it today, and I was like, it started like 30 minutes late.
Maybe people are waking up to the fact that like what's going on is a reality show. That we do live.
It is a reality
Well,
show.
yeah, it's all
And the thing
distraction.
that I sent you, they were saying that he didn't want to answer those questions about the China and stuff.
Oh, now he's not talking about China. Does that mean we're taking China's?
Yeah, we were talking about how he.
Oh, there it is. I found it. It's called the Freedom Dividend.
It was
Not called
freedom dividend first, and then it remained to
No. He renamed it to Freedom Dividend. He
I
talks.
watched his podcast.
Yeah, me too.
Either way,
Dude,
it's communism. Yeah.
And right now people are asking.
He changed it to the Freedom Dividend.
No, Freedom
1,000%. I'll put up, dude. Pull up Joe Rogan's podcast with fucking Adrian, dude. Like 1,000%. He was always called Universal Basic Income. That's the
As far as
international term. But he coined American Freedom Dividend
because he was
because
always
it's a
pushing it
dividend
from
of the big money tech corporations that he's giving to the American people to have more freedom in their life. Like
Okay.
1,000%, he renamed it to that.
1,000% he renamed it to UBI. I'm gonna
2,000%?
check it
No.
tomorrow because my phone is dead.
Dude, I just pulled it up
2000%
right
sure
here.
that this is communism. Very
Socialism.
bad. Socialism. Communism.
You guys
thing,
want,
right?
if we're talking
Are they
about
not the
politics,
same
can we
thing?
talk about Bernie and what he's done the
Socialism
past
and
fucking
communism are not
20
the same
years?
thing.
He just took
They're
all the
the same
momentum
ideals,
for
right?
any third party independent candidate the past 20 to 30 years, any momentum for that to happen, and absorbed it and fucking just like made it a non-player
So here's why I'm telling
and sold
you,
it
Scott,
out.
He's not the sellout. The system is a sellout. The whole
But he
system.
was not
is.
the.
It's just another.
You think he didn't consciously
Here's
do
why-
that? Because like all he had to do was be like, "Yo, Biden, what'd you say?" Like,
The thing is,
what?
Bernie is not the president material.
No, the
He
thing.
was not, he never was. I can't even imagine him being the president. Because I was actually watching podcast today, Joe Rogan's podcast, and the guy was saying you can't even imagine him being the president. He was pushed out by some ladies talking about the fucking milk. That was a fact. But I still hope Biden's gonna run.
The majority of his fundraising money was stemmed from like just people, working class people, of throwing like $30 to $100. Like, and that was what he ran his
that's a
base
lot of
of a
money.
campaign on, and then just is now sending out support letters for the Democrat Party when he was supposed to be. You know what I'm saying? It's just like you can't. The fact that he ever was like marketed himself as like an outsider or anybody for the people. I feel like there were bits and pieces. He was giving like bright knowledge points of it and talking about topics that need to be talked about certain times. But there's never any act. He never acted on anything. Which I guess is, you could say there's always that thing like, but that's politics. But it's like, is it though? Like, does it have to be? Right now, it 1,000% is. But like,
it
why?
always has been. That's the thing.
I just don't get why there just can't be some.
I
just have never understood. 1,000% has always been a show, but I just don't understand why. Like beyond, like obviously he just took money and was like bought and sold.
There's a behind the scenes reason for everything that they do.
Low key,
it's money
on both
and
sides.
Their own personal gain.
Yeah, no, it's there. It's not even that. It's a system that they're. You got to think of it as a play. They're literally up there putting up a play for what objective they're trying to achieve. The people who are in control are using them as actors. We'll just call them actors. They're actors.
They're kind of middlemen and like the one bringing the vocal like points to it. Yeah,
they're the actor of the show.
I get that. Yeah, but that doesn't mean. So I'm talking about when I say Bernie Sanders, I'm talking about and the people that are surrounding him. And when I talk about
right, but you can't
like we talk about Trump. I talk about all that.
You can't call
like obviously Trump is like a mouthpiece and a brand. That's what he's been his whole life.
Yeah.
He like most of his real estate deals were leasing deals of his name. He didn't like do like a lot of. He branded himself as a developer, but he wasn't an actual developer for majority of his projects.
Loki, I was thinking that Bernie is a Trump figure because he did it twice already, and he did it in the same manner.
I don't know. The Trump thing's fucking tricky because at least some of the bills he's passing, like the bills in his term, were a lot better than what Obama was passing from the majority of research I've done. For one, what always bogs me about Obama is the food with Monsanto stuff. Yeah. That always kills me because that was like, to be honest, I don't know much about like names of bills, but I just know that his economic policies were better. His he put the like toughest restrictions on Iran, China, Russia that had like much more than what like Obama ever did. Like certain even to points where like there were stuff that Trump did that Obama was saying like would cause mayhem if he ever even asked about it to Russia, and Trump went in just like, no, we're fucking doing this and see you guys later. Hit me up to play some golf or whatever he fucking does, but like fucking Obama didn't even wouldn't even entertain the conversation of doing certain sanctions that whatever happened and like whatever was placed on them when Trump's whole thing started.
Right.
And there's a few other pieces like that too, because Obama's just a piece of the Clinton stuff. So was Bush though. Like both parties are involved.
The Bush name's a much bigger name than the Clinton name.
Well, I'm just saying, but it's all the same machine. Like they're all one team. They're under different.
They're all one team.
Yeah.
Not Trump. Trump's apparently much more of an outsider.
Oh, he is. That's why they want to get him out so bad.
Right, but that's why I'm saying Trump is a tricky situation where it's like you talk about some form because at least there's some like at first I wasn't even convinced he was going to be able to, but you kind of look at just different things that have happened where like at least he's opened some doors for some people to get loud. Is kind of what I'm getting at. Because, like, he's not the guy to save us for sure. And hopefully he hasn't sold us out by now because if he hits... Because, honestly, this second term is... Whoever is in the second term, it's not going to go well. It doesn't matter if it's either candidate. Like, we're entering the biggest economic depression or collapse of, like, maybe all time. It's not going to hit... If it's fake right now, they're inflating it a shit ton. Like, it's not going to hit till at least the back end of the next 4 years. But it's going to be a slow... And then from there, it'll be... that much more of a faster paced decline of just U.S. and stuff in general, and then you'll look at like a 20-year breakdown where it just goes like.
So if Trump wins,
from what I'm seeing,
yeah, if Trump wins, he that's what we're talking about is he owes the Chinese how much? A lot, millions.
That was more than like what? What do you mean? How though? Like through his own ties or through U.S. like the government ties?
So I don't think the point is
the government ties, his personal ties.
His personal ties,
but it doesn't matter.
So that's scarier for right now.
That's what basically that's what the questions were about. I think today. That's why he didn't. I mean, people on Twitter were saying that, but he doesn't owe them that much. But why for me it did make sense. That's why he's not releasing his tax returns because there is going to be a bill from the Chinese banks because that was the first deal that was done with, through the Chinese banks to to stimulate property buys, whatever he did.
Right.
Yeah, that could be. I wouldn't put any doubt there. I mean, yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's a tricky situation because then you go back to is an outsider though.
Right.
So like, let's just get another outsider in there that's got to fucking like not corrupt. But like, unfortunately, Trump just capitalized on a moment in history
He was
where the
only one that
American
could
people
do it,
were
really.
like,
The what?
no, you could have had another outsider.
Like
I
who?
think because there's different ways to do it. He did it his way. That's why I think his rhetoric got so trashy, is because he was picking up that demographic of people to boost his numbers even more.
And that's what I'm saying. Who else could have picked up that demographic of people?
2016.
But I'm saying
Yeah.
I think there's other, but that demographic of people not necessarily is what you're going to necessarily. There's other ways to win. That was what they calculated with what the pieces they had to win. You know what I'm saying? I don't know enough about.
That was a pretty specific way to win. I mean, it was literally. He lost the popular.
I mean, they
vote
literally looked at all the
dramatically, and for
messages
him
of
to-
Facebook, Instagram, and all that stuff, picked pieces that were the most talked about things or sayings and conversations, and then put that in his speeches. So they 1,000% knew what they were doing. I'm just saying that was their strategy. I'm saying that's like, okay, so if that's how you play, right? That's his brand, and that's what they knew was going to work with how he talks, what he can do, what he's about, and where his following is stemming from, like who he is as a celebrity, right? But there's other people that you could still do that, but it's at a different vibration and level point than what he did. So, you know what I'm saying? It doesn't have to necessarily be that's the extra piece of the puzzle that gets you over the edge. Just grab it from up here or something, or over here. Don't fucking pick it up from under the rug or out of the toilet. You know what I'm saying? But that's what they figured out. That's how they could do it. You know what I'm saying? But there's definitely, if that's possible, if that's real, then there's other ways to do it. Because also you look at that election, because also part of that strategy is decrease the voting population, and that's a goal of both parties. Because that was also the last election was the highest. That was the highest rate of non-voters in history, which is what all of these people that own the electoral colleges want, because then it gives even them more power too. Beyond the whole other conversation of where you're picking up your fucking boost from demographically and with your rhetoric and shit.
Right.
But if that's an actual way to play, then just get someone who can do it at a higher level and a better level. You know what I mean? But it can still be an outsider, can still fucking you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That's where it just gets goofy with Trump. But otherwise, like, I don't know, it seems like it's just a fucking spiraling downhill madness crazy show right now. But
Yeah, he just says dumb shit. He's an idiot. He's truly just a fucking moron with a big mouth.
That's what I was thinking.
I think he's doing it purpose. I think he's doing it purposefully though. I think it's done somewhat. I think
What was the
maybe
purpose
not those actual moments of what he's saying was
makes
pre-calculated, but like it's part of the calculated thing of why he's.
But
up
what's
there.
the purpose though?
Sound bites and distractions.
That's the whole. So he's the cherry on top of what the government is, which is the big distraction. That's what I'm getting at. No matter how he got in, no matter how he affects it, it as itself, the government is just a big show that they put on so that they can get done what they need to do to make more money.
Right, because it's just a company basically.
Yeah,
It is a huge
it's
corporation,
one giant corporation.
and I feel like that's why they put him in power, because he can distract people the most.
Yeah, he's a great.
Yeah,
talker.
that I agree with
He's
that
a great
statement. Yeah,
talker. Whether he's pissing you off,
Not even talker, but he just throws.
he just talks.
well, it's also
hilarious.
The first
yeah, like
page,
a lot of
the
people.
front
He's funny.
It's funny as
It's
fuck.
like
it's
a problem, but he makes you laugh sometimes. Also, then he just has moments where you're like, this guy needs to be fucking
He's just
hit in the
comedian.
face and knocked the fuck out.
right. You're just like, bro, is this real life? Is this great? Like, this is crazy.
He's just comedian.
All the way to then you talk about he tells people to shoot up Lysol and shit. The fuck? The fuck?
Yeah, and
He's
then
just a comedian, I'm telling you.
Yeah, he's really like
He's an entertainer. I get.
He's very much.
Like it's a.
But he's just the cherry on top. Like I feel
Yeah,
like everything that's
1,000%.
going on there is.
He's just the mouth. He is still the mouthpiece and thing, but you can't call the man.
And
necessarily, you
there-
can't
you know
say
what?
he's dumb. Is all I'm getting at. I think he's manipulating control, and he's probably definitely not the one actually in control. There's levels and levels and levels of this shit.
Right.
But like what he's projecting is not his reality. He goes back there and fucking talks like straight up sentences of, but it's probably really dark and like some, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Shit to the people he's working with, and he comes up to the mic with everyone and does this whole fucking thing, and goes back. You know what I mean? But to get to where he's gone, he's like, you can't say you can't fucking actually have that real conversation. It's just not what you want to fucking hear, obviously, because then you look at his whole business background
Yeah.
of
It's
where his
not really great.
portfolio is, and it's
It's not
all,
really great.
huh?
It's not that great.
It's terrible, and it's like full of bankruptcy. It's full of
Losses.
Yeah, it's
like
pretty much all
theft.
negative.
Also, like that college he started. You ever see the college he
Yeah,
started?
Trump
like
University.
Yeah,
Yeah, like that was a whole scam. It's just a scam.
It's a
He's basically
scam.
he's a con man.
He is a con
He is
artist.
a, yeah.
But he's a great distractor. That's why he was
yeah,
chosen.
Yeah, 1,000%. It was all
they-
planned and
all they
calculated.
did-
Yeah, it's the thing.
All they did
But
was
I'm
put
saying-
him in place so that
all
they
he-
could find out whether or not.
I'm just saying, silver lining. It opens the door to another outsider to take that, but just do it in a
No.
better way. Unless you think
No.
you already think they block stuff. What do you
No,
mean?
that's why
No.
Biden is
That's what I'm
there.
getting. My
Because-
point is Biden. All they had to do was put someone like that in and say,
Who's gonna be doing dumber shit?
Can we put a clown in there and people will still listen and react? And they put a clown in front of us and we're still listening and reacting. And now they're going to put an insider clown that people already know, Joe Biden.
You know,
Like,
So you're saying
if
that-
Joe Biden
But
wins,
Trump, I still think
he will.
Trump. Yeah, I still think Trump's still
almost
gonna
a guaranteed
I think
win.
you
But
get-
on the chance that Joe Biden wins, he's the next level of clownery in the fucking government. My God.
Well, that, but
the
also
dude
I
needs to
think
be
it
in a
just I
home.
think
He's
them putting
old
up
and
Biden
senile.
is just the Democratic Party
303,
and just showing that the
330.
Democratic Party is sided with whatever Trump is. Like
Yeah.
it's all becoming one
they just
thing
made
again.
the version
You see what I'm
of Trump.
saying? Like they're but it's also not it's like on paper there's somewhat versions, but then he has mental issues because he's old is like the subline. You know what I mean? But it's like old white dude with
That's why
fake
we gotta-
tan and blonde hair and white smile and blah 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 blah. You know what I'm saying? And then says weird fucking shit and stupid shit. But then it's almost like what they're trying to do with Biden, if it's planned for him to stutter like how he does, it's like he can't keep up with how Trump rattles off all these different sayings that are sound bites. Because like when Trump talks too, it doesn't always make sense. Like
Never.
it makes sense, but he just quickly does it to where it's like, all right. And then Biden does it. He's like, it's almost like he's reading the prompter, trying to like
He's the
say
slow-
it how
He's
Trump
like a
does
fish,
it, and
like
then just
just
like,
it's like-
333.
yeah, yeah,
He's like 19 something something.
Oh,
He sees something on the prompter and he's like,
Okay, cool. I'm gonna miss that.
oh, I went fishing
fishing,
once.
yeah, for real.
Like I was with that Negro boy fishing.
Oh,
You know, he
God.
says dumb shit like that. Like, are we? You know, and that's just what I'm saying. Is like,
What was the line? The truth, not the facts.
yeah, we believe in truth, not facts. I was trying to rationalize it the other day.
Dude.
That was good.
What was the other when he was like, you know how it goes? Like, what was that one?
Oh,
The white boys.
no, it's colored kids are just as
No. It was not. It was like a thing off the Declaration of Independence or something. Or it's like all men are
Treated equally.
There might have been that, or it was like God bless you. Like he was blessing. It was like a prayer thing where he was just like, you know how it goes. Like, fuck, I wish I remembered. It's a terrible point to down to remember. Whatever.
No, it's okay. But you know, this is like the thing is he's Sleepy Joe. Like, the poor guy needs to be
Sleeping.
Yeah, he needs to be sleeping. He's tired. I can
Yeah.
see it.
Yeah, he's more controllable than whatever Trump's
Oh,
is.
absolutely. At least
You know what I mean?
they're just at different age points of being able to be controlled. When you're that old, you can just kind of.
Oh yeah, really, yeah. I mean,
You know,
I guess.
he's very much his senior, so
That's what I was.
he can be kind of like pushed around and be like, "This way, Mr. President." Like, you're not in 19 something no more. Like, come on.
Biden
it's
for sure.
2020, bro.
Trump is a little bit has more cognitive ability than
Yeah,
Biden. But like,
he's a little
a
young.
little bit.
Yeah.
is it a straight age thing? You think?
I think it's just an age thing. They're both morons.
You think there's definitely some fucking.
They're just
Have you seen the
clownery
video
shit.
when he like coughs and the junior?
Apparently, Biden's sexual assaults
Huge.
like stuff is
Way
way
out
worse.
there.
It's way worse than
When
whatever
it
was
comes
going
out-
on.
Haven't you seen like how he was grabbing the girls?
And
I
yeah,
didn't
have
see
you
that.
seen? There's a video of him like with little girls where he'll like sniff their hair or like rub their shoulder. It's very creepy.
Creepy.
It's
Are you
creepy.
fucking
I wish
serious?
we had a projector so we could show you on the big screen and creep you the fuck out. That's who's going.
Creepy
up.
Joe.
That's
he's-
just doing that.
Yeah, that's creepy Joe up there.
Oh god, thanks, Democrats.
You know what?
So what's gonna happen is just like these last 4 years. Let's say Joe Biden gets elected president. Just like these last 4 years,
We can just get
Democrats. I'm sorry. Yeah, Democrats were super. Sorry, I got confused. Democrats were super hateful towards Trump. It's going to be vice versa, where Republicans are going to be super hateful towards. It's just going to be this culture where we either go back and forth, or we stay on one side longer, and we go on the other side. And it's another way for the people who are already
Distract them.
rich. Yeah, it's another just form of distraction to keep us divided. It divides us into smaller groups.
You know
The more
what?
they keep us divided, the
Oh
worse
yeah,
humanity
for sure,
gets.
for sure.
You
Shout
know
out
what?
to Shia LaBeouf for getting put in jail for ranting. They will not divide us. You know that?
No,
He was
I'm
protesting.
not a big Shia LaBeouf fan.
Really?
Who is
I
Shia
fucking
LaBeouf?
love that
He's
dude.
an actor, the one from Transformers.
Oh, Shia something.
He's also
Shia
in a lot of
LaBeouf.
other cool shit, but
His name
also
is Shia
Transformers
and
will
then
fuck.
LaBeouf.
Oh, Shia LaBeouf.
Shia
That
LaBeouf.
that dude's tight. But all I'm
He's kind
getting
of a crazy guy, huh?
he gets a little wild, but it's misunderstood. That's what I'm getting at.
Is it
Like he
drugs?
got put in. Dude, he
He's
was
in
out
jail?
there protesting. No, he's out now. He got put
was.
in jail multiple times. So there was one time in New York City where he was out of play and was drunk in the front
Can
row.
I finish the
He
politics
was drunk
talk
in the front
real
row.
quick?
Huh? I'll go
Politics
back.
talk?
Okay. All I'm
No,
saying.
we're gonna finish it because I'm tired of the politics.
I wanted to fucking finish my Shia LaBeouf, but whatever.
I'm gonna finish it and you're gonna finish yours.
I mean, it's alright. You already
Because
cut
we're
me
gonna-
off, and my train of thought just got fucked up, Doran. So
Because I had it in
take
mind
the
for so long.
mic, huh?
I was keeping it for so long. So basically,
Okay.
Don't tell me you lost it.
And
no, I
maybe
was watching the
forget mine.
podcast and
What podcast?
because I was Joe
All right, so I
Rogan.
remember my Shia LaBeouf thing. So
I
whenever
remember
you're
too.
ready. All right, rattle it off.
So the guy was saying why he votes for Biden, because he feels like, it's gonna go back to the normal like when it was Obama.
Oh fuck!
That's
Wait,
why
who
he
said
You
that?
really want to go backwards in time?
The podcast is new. It's
Jesus.
today.
Oh, Shia saying he's gonna vote for
Not,
Biden.
not Shia, but some guy
Who?
on Joe Rogan's podcast that was today,
Interesting. I don't know.
and he was
No.
like, because I feel like
You think people
it's
will
gonna go
mellow
back.
out? Is what he's saying.
He's basically they're
But
But the
voting.
problem with the Obama thing was it put everyone to sleep. Because like then he just
But he
started
was
shoveling
elite.
bills underneath. Like I'm telling you, I wish I knew all the bills.
He was a
But there was
representative.
more dirt going on in Obama's last term than would Trump. We'll see what happens in the second term. Like again,
Any
we're in
president
some
does that.
crazy
Any
waters
president,
right now,
if they get elected to a second
second
term,
term it gets disgusting.
yeah, because then they just
They know they're
that
out of there.
Yeah, they have 4 years to get whatever they want in.
Mm-hmm.
That's it. That's all that happens.
That's it.
Yeah, in the first.
And that's
4
why the
years-
first term's all about re-election.
So they're a little bit more cautious about how they do things. Not entirely, but more so than in their second term.
Second term, they can't have fun.
Yeah, they can fucking and that's the other scary point. Like, let's say Trump gets a second term,
He'll be like, just
and
eat
then
poison rat.
and then he's like, you know what? I think I want a third. He really strikes me as the guy to say I want a third.
Oh, that's been the conversation since he got into office.
Yeah.
That was something people
Because
were
he is
But-
gonna get number 2, and then who knows what the fuck happens.
Well,
Then what?
I
And
mean,
if
yeah,
he was
this whole
trying
thing
to-
could. I mean, if we're under lockdown like this and all of the economy's collapsing at the same time, and the food's all
Well,
fucked
what's
up,
weird is the economy is collapsing not because of COVID. They just try to use COVID as a reason for
recovery,
it.
and I mean, COVID's definitely not helping.
No,
But-
it only made the situation
Yeah,
worse.
exactly. It expedited.
But that
it.
was China doing it.
Its own-
I think it's
It's-
just an excuse for them.
Yeah, I you know what? I believe that people are
Mm.
dying. But I
Yeah,
believe that
I-
a lot of people died from H1N1. I believe a lot of people died from swine flu. Like these pandemics happen. They've happened a lot, and I think that the media has just done a really good job of making this one crazy. It's been crazy.
The media definitely was different in this one for sure, but I also the numbers and what's happening on other countries, like you look at like what happened to Italy and stuff
Yeah,
like
but
that.
this older-
That was not happening for the other stuff, but it wasn't happening with the other outbreaks and like this how fast it spread
Italy-
worldwide. It's definitely you can't compare it, but there are things to point out in terms of like how they've manipulated the situation for what's going on with the economy. But like I think still Corona and COVID's like much more of a situation than the other ones. Like those were definitely much more dress rehearsals versus this is real. But this is still dress rehearsal for what's to come. Because one, apparently COVID and Corona is getting worse in the fall and winter, yada yada. There's gonna be another wave. It's a whole other thing. But then you talk about just other diseases and viruses that are much more gnarly than Corona and COVID. Because there's ones that are about to jump from animals to humans that are way worse and can kill you on sight type shit. You know what I mean? Like there's no like they're super fatal. You know what I mean?
Well, I think
And-
it's a wake up call that we.
Yeah,
Gotta
you just
buy
look at-
the
well,
island.
that's where the environment conversation comes in though, because then you have all this pollution, environmental issues, and that's going to expedite the issues with the animals and sicknesses in the animals, which will expedite the jump to the humans and stuff.
Right, which I think for me begs the question: is overpopulation really an issue? And I think yes. I think like there are too many people on the planet.
Why?
Because at this point we're at a point where the Earth is functioning on like a low level as far as humans are concerned.
from like resources of the Earth. Yeah, it's overpopulated, but humans have maintained within society. Actually, still, I guess most people are living in like a very like impoverished state. Like you can't even compare it to the
I
US,
think-
really. I guess.
so
From
here's
my
what
saying,
it-
but at the same time, you look at like where the numbers are in the US. It's like most people are calling us a third world country at this point. You know? So like,
If this is a third world country,
not that bad,
we
right?
gotta
What
create
was
new-
the first-
we
for
gotta
real.
create new like
Island.
fucking create like priorities.
No, you're right. I'm just saying all I'm saying is where the stats are numbers wise right now.
Sure.
It looks pretty gnarly.
Yeah,
Obviously, it just happened, so we haven't had 50 years of this, but that's what predicted. It's gonna be at least like 20.
right. But what I'm saying is like, I don't know where I was going with that. I lost it.
That's why we gotta move to.
I really want the theaters and stuff to open up because I want to fucking go play some gigs.
I just want to go to the fucking
I don't
beach.
think they.
So can
That's
we talk
gonna be
about
nice
this
too, and
weird
hiking.
The
LA
beaches are
weather?
open.
Bullshit.
Not all of them.
Ones. We'll
You could
drive.
probably
I
go
think we're gonna
exercise. You
drive
could probably
for
go
hours.
exercise at some of them. I would assume you could probably
The
exercise.
gyms are not here in California though.
I can't wait for the gyms to open. Though I'm gonna go get a job.
They're open in Georgia though. Let's go.
Let's drive to Georgia. Let's fly. It'll be $8 a piece.
$8 a piece.
And then 10
Just
for
to
the
drive
gym.
out.
18 for the totally. 18
We're
a
gonna
day.
just work out and we're gonna leave. $8.
Hell yeah.
Round
To
trip.
work out. So down.
Georgia is
Actually, I'm probably not gonna join. I'm canceling all my gym stuff. I'm just gonna work out from home for mostly. I think
It's
because
not
like,
working for me.
huh?
It's not
I think I'm gonna cancel my
Really?
Not the
membership
same.
too.
It's definitely not the same, but I just don't want to go back to the gym because I'm like worried about the health issues. To be honest,
Yeah, back to my point. You're gonna die when you're gonna die.
but you can control some factors like not.
No,
going
you
to the
can't
gym.
because if it's
Still work out.
as deadly as we're saying it is, it's gonna get to you.
I
It's
think
not deadly as
it's not. I'm not saying. I think it's gonna get a lot of people. I think the next wave could be something weird, but like right now,
I think it was part of the first wave that had it back in November.
I think I had it in November.
So
too.
I'm not worried about it.
When did I move
Oh.
in? Wait, when did I move in with you though?
all the way back
Yeah, when back in NoHo. When did I move in?
in October or something like that.
Because I remember in K-Town, I can't remember if I was in K-Town I got really sick, or if it was in NoHo if I got really sick. I can't remember, but like there was definitely a time because I remember I had to call out for like some important meetings I had lined up, and like I was like, "Fuck, I'm like literally not gonna go to this shit. Like I cannot. Like there's just no way."
This week they said in California they found three people that died in November I think or November.
From coronavirus.
Jesus.
That's why they moved the date right now because the first one that they found was like March 6th
Oh.
and they moved it to November and that's when we were all sick.
Yeah,
Right?
I had it around then. So if the,
That was the exact timeline
we're
when we
probably
were sick.
already on phase 2.
But
We're
we
probably
are. This
going to
fit,
phase
yeah.
3.
Well, what's happening right now is the summer is just depleting the
That's
bug
killing
right
it.
now because, like
And
you
when it
said,
gets
it's
cold again.
been hot
Right.
and
Well, it has been. It's been hot for 2 days.
yeah,
Super
but
hot.
it's like the heat is turning up. We're going into like summertime. That's what I'm
Finally.
getting at. We're getting out of
Springtime,
the
right?
moist spring, so the water's getting dried up and shit, and fucking it's
Yeah,
less
but what is
cold.
that like for other states where it doesn't happen? Like New Mexico is still cold as F right now.
No, not even that. The virus was spreading in Florida. It was hot all the time there.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, so if
'Cause-
the second wave might just come. If that's the case, then
You
the
know-
second
you
wave just
know
comes
why?
faster.
You
Is
know
all
why?
that means. All I was getting at is a silver lining of like the summertime.
You know
being
why
it
they
might
say
be, like,
the
mellowed
second
out.
wave?
Summer.
The second wave was
2020
gonna be
canceled.
bad because a lot of people are gonna have the coronavirus and they are gonna have the flu because right now there is no flu, and that's why it's gonna be bad.
They're gonna have
And that's why
both at
right
the
now it's
same
been
time.
bad because all of those people would be like thinking that they got the coronavirus and they're gonna be going to the to the hospital to get themselves checked out, and that's why it's gonna be bad because it's gonna be like two viruses at the same time, and people are gonna be freaked out if they're gonna
Right.
just get sick a little bit.
Dog, what
That's
was
why.
that video you would show me?
I heard the coronavirus mutated too, though.
Yeah,
So like it's more
didn't
intense.
I tell you that? It mutated like
I
30
don't know
times.
who
That's
told
why
me, but-
the vaccine is not even actual anymore.
The what?
The vaccine that they're coming out with. Oh, actual vaccine failed this Thursday, yesterday. That's why the
there's-
market went
dude,
down.
I swear the vaccine thing was for it to actually work. It takes like 2 years.
The least it was taking 10 years. The least they did in the history was for Ebola was 5 years.
Okay, well, yeah, so definitely not
That's-
right
so
we're
now.
up for it, right?
Yeah. So that's what it's gonna get you anyway. There's really nothing you can do about it if it has that kind of life.
If getting it, but that doesn't mean you aren't taking precursors to make yourself healthier for if or when you get it.
Yeah,
because
cigarettes are so nice, Scott.
I don't think it's gonna. I think we already had it.
God, why you gotta make me this anti-cigarette like
cigarette hater?
Eat healthy and work out and don't go to the. I'm saying don't go to infested areas. Like still live like smart about it.
We work in a grocery store. We work in the most dangerous place you can work.
But
where literally anyone can walk through the door whether they have corona or not, and shop with a mask on that doesn't do shit to cover their corona.
Oh, you haven't.
Exactly. So more reason to be healthy when you're not working. You gotta work to make money and live unless you want to do unemployment. You can do that too if you really want to, but shit, I don't really want to do it.
Yeah, I really don't want to live in a socialist.
So if you haven't seen the Trump video, you haven't seen the video with the journalist before the briefing.
What I was gonna ask you about.
The what?
3 days ago.
The what?
Have you seen that video?
Say it again.
The video, I think it was posted like 3-4 days ago. Where the journalists were talking before the briefing started.
I saw like a minute of it. I didn't watch the whole thing.
So basically, one of the guys was saying that there were like 2-3 people, and one of the guys was asking the other guy why he's wearing the mask, because apparently they've been vaccinated. Whoever was like in the briefing room, and afterwards he said that UCLA did the research, did the whole study, and apparently the virus is not that mortal. It's like 0.1%, pretty much like flu.
This is the guy wearing the mask or not wearing the mask? Or guy questioning why the guy has the mask?
The guy who has no mask was saying that, and he was like, "We've been vaccinated anyways." Afterwards, after he said about
the guy who doesn't have the mask.
Doesn't have the mask. He was asking the guy, why you're wearing the mask? Because we've been vaccinated.
And then he said the UCLA stat.
No, first he said the UCLA stats, and then he was like, we've been vaccinated before. Why you wearing the mask? And he's like, okay, yeah, makes sense. And that video went viral.
Oh yeah, I can imagine. There's a lot of like weird
those stats were real.
Those were the people who were like reporters and cleaning people before the briefing of Trump.
Yeah, no, I've seen the video. I didn't really understand what was said because I was just in a feed. But what I was just clarifying is the stats that the guy said who wasn't wearing the mask are real in terms of the UCLA
the stats
thing,
are pretty much real.
And them getting an actual vaccine that's working. Because like you just say, or one of you say that the vaccine that they came out with isn't going to work and takes like 5 to 10 years?
It was the statistics, but maybe they have it. Maybe they're not releasing it because.
Well, if they already have it, then it means the whole thing was planned by some.
That's another conspiracy theory.
Yeah.
That's why they're saying maybe Chinese that had the vaccine already. That's why it's not.
It's totally a possibility that's biowarfare. 1,000%. They just don't want to freak everyone out. But also, I think there'd be more tension rhetorically in some way. Like at the same time, it's playing with fucking fire.
Not if they already understand
that's already
it. Not if they understand it, and I don't think that China would put something out that they didn't understand.
That's why I don't think it was
that would
China.
Definitely be their goal for sure.
I
think we're the territory of this whole. Of how like lethal it is.
Yeah, of what the limits are, what they can do with it, what they can't, how it affects things. I don't think that they would put it out, knowing that it could potentially kill them.
Oh, you're saying start super soft.
Yeah.
Which I mean, if that's totally possible. I honestly, so much is on the table right now because there's so much unknowns that I can't obviously.
We live in a giant conspiracy
right now.
We're like, who knows what the fuck the facts are. That's a scary time when you talk about like you go your day by day not knowing what reality is in like the world. And we have all this access to information. You're gonna tell me I don't know what the fuck is going on with the virus that's in the air.
We do have access. It's just not.
No, none of the information that we get. Bullshit.
Not the factual.
If I pull up Google, I'm gonna get whatever Google wants to tell me.
Because it's catered.
It's factual.
No, but you could still. What I'm saying is, it's hard to go find all the information. You got to really go put in work right now because it's 1,000%. That's been a conversation for a long time.
Yeah.
In terms of how manipulated like all the information is and why people are trying to control all of it. But it's still out there, like for the most part. And if you really want to,
But
you
you
just
gotta
hit the
dig
dark
for it.
That's the
web.
whole problem.
If you really
with it
want
is
to,
you can't just accept that that's how it is and go make your mind up. There has to be some time like now where we draw the line where we're like, well, we just kind of decide that enough is enough.
well, 1,000%. But that comes
We
down
have
to
to
when
do that
people are
as a
going to get in the street.
society.
Yeah, that's just tough. Like, 'cause then also you look at the tech companies who are controlling all this internet stuff are basically these big corporation conglomerates that are being bought and sold and treated like the rest of the companies in the U.S., which were basically like lobbyist firms. Like, you know what I mean?
Pretty much.
Like,
Yeah.
so like, because of that, it just comes down to the same conversation with the issues with all the other stuff going on, because that it just falls in the same playing field and getting tossed around the same way. It's obviously its own entity
Right.
and industry, but it's in the same system.
I don't know. All I'm saying is, to me, it sounds like a one big ass conspiracy. It sounds like one big
It could be
impossible. It sounds like
a
one
combination.
giant impossible fictional story that's real. That's nonfiction.
That's a movie.
Yeah, that we just are somehow in this, and then
Well,
to me that begs the question, like, we probably are in a fucking simulation. If shit can get this stupid
so quick,
we're in a fucking If in 4 years we can go from no, I don't want to say that what we were doing 4 years ago is any worse or better than it is now, but they're very different. For us to go from one to the other, that in 4 years has been very strange.
It's just interesting to think about. It always becomes relevant to talk about all of this just during the time when it's going on, because once the election was over, it really took no more than a year for everyone to mellow out again and think. Because obviously there's tension in certain things, and you couldn't wear a fucking red hat or say certain things. You know what I'm saying? It was not anything like when Obama was president or stuff before. There's, you know what I'm saying? Trump definitely changed shit, but there was still that mellow out time where people just stopped being active.
because
You know what I'm saying? In terms of
he wasn't on the TV screens all the time.
Right, because it gets
right
planned to be. All I'm saying is it's planned to be that way, and all of a sudden it all becomes relevant. The reality sets in when certain things hit like this. But especially during election times and stuff, it's kind of what I'm getting at. There's always this 2 to 3 year lull that I see in society.
Where things go quiet for a few years.
Yeah, and then everyone gets ramped up again. It happens every 4 years.
We need a fucking purge. That's what we need.
Yeah.
We need to go. If people are gonna get ramped up like this, we need to just let them out, let them have it for a night, and just.
I still gotta watch those movies.
You haven't seen them? They're
I know they're great. I know. I have zero hate. It's not why I watch them. I just don't have a lot of time on my hands, guys.
That's a bad excuse, guys.
It's
an excellent
not,
film.
though,
You've made time. For
what platform is it on right now, Josh? None of them.
I think I'm
What Russian
almost
website?
positive.
None of them.
First of all, it's on
Send
a
me a
Russian
link.
website.
So, no, okay, I meant the legal ones that I'm paying for right now. But if you want to send me some cool shit, no, it's not on Hulu.
I think I could probably.
Purge?
Not the original, and that's the good one, and everyone knows it. There's definitely some of the sequels I've heard good things about, but everyone knows the first one's the good.
There's 3 parts
So
of
send me the link for the first one, and I'm happy to find time.
4. I don't know. It's either 3 or 4. I can't remember.
I've heard. I think there was one. Let's see, 3 or 4 was supposed to be really
I've seen
good too.
2 of them for sure, and I know there's another one. So there's 3 or 4. I can't remember.
I might have seen
But they're excellent films. The idea of it, because we're just we're apes, and we have.
I don't agree that we need to do it, but we definitely got to switch some shit up. I don't think letting people just go crazy for a while would be but that's the way society is constructed is not the answer, obviously.
No,
but I'm not saying
It's
that.
all-
I disagree with the solution being a purge is what I'm getting at. But I agree that things
Me
need
too.
to be
you guys are not on board with the purge.
no, not on board.
I'm not on
vetoing
board
the
to.
purge.
I'm not on board to be a part of it. I'm not saying I'm going to go out there and just start stabbing.
You're
people.
just volunteering your own death. Then
Yeah, I'm just saying
means you're going to get killed during the purge that you voted
It
for.
should be able to happen.
Not voting, veto.
That's okay.
But I agree that society has to be reconstructed. So
reconstructed to the new terms.
it needs to be more. What
21st
you're getting at is
century.
the animalistic side of humans and stuff, which it just needs to
Well,
be
that's
more
right. We're already
constructed
in this
towards
weird-
this. It needs to be more it needs to have
21st
humanity.
century.
Society needs to be humanized, if that's even a term. But it's been dehumanized. Society's been
Not a word.
dehumanized. But society has been dehumanized.
What was the word before?
Humanized.
No. Humanitized.
Dehumanized.
Whatever. Y'all get the
Dehumanitized.
fucking point. You turkeys.
I feel like the opposite of purge should happen. Like at least like once in like a month.
Damn. The Purge once a month?
No, the opposite of purge.
Oh,
like
what's
I have to
the
be in
opposite of
Marina
purge?
Del
Just
Rey
fuck
by
everything you see?
6:30 a.m. So
like
it's 2 a.m.
like maybe like the global meditation or some shit like that.
The what?
That's not the opposite of hate. The opposite of hate is love. And that's like,
Okay, like huge
so
ass
I'm-
orgy. Fuck
I'm
it.
down for a giant orgy of all people.
All the people.
I would literally.
Oh God! I don't want to even hear what you would do.
I would
Please.
dive off of a 12-foot like diving board into a pile of people and just like swim up in there and find myself in the
God.
middle of that Jello
God.
human mold.
God.
They should start trying something like that in like one country and then see if it actually works out.
There's this. This is not related to that at all, but it made me think of it. There's this a country where there's like this thing where people stand on each other's shoulders and it's like a sport. They like have to reach a certain height with just people and reach a ball, and it's like two teams. It's like a competition. It's small.
That reminded me of you guys seeing The Fittest on Earth on right. It's played on multiple platforms, but right now it's on Hulu, I think.
What's it called?
The Fittest on Earth, and they just dropped a sequel, which is called The Fittest in Dubai, which is The Fittest on Earth.
Oh, I've seen Fitness Dubai.
But that one's The Fittest on. So there's one before that called Fittest on Earth, which is a little bit longer and more in depth of what that event actually is. And then The Fittest in Dubai is that same thing, just hosted in Dubai and following some of the same people. But you talk about fucking crazy exercise shit, try to like get, because you start saying climbing on top of people's shoulders or whatever. They don't do that, but like for one, there's like this pegboard that they climb up. And you have like these two like like pegs or whatever, and you're just fucking God, that's just like climbing up. Yeah, I know. I already know what I did.
You're right at the camera.
Yep. To the top or whatever, like 10, 15 feet, and then have to do it the way down. And if you fall,
How do you do it the way? Do you do it like this way down, Scott? Yeah, is it this one
yeah,
going
back
up?
down. I didn't even realize.
And then it's this one going down?
Yeah. And then
Makes sense.
It's easy.
and then if you have to
Sounds great.
Let's do it.
That's actually I was trying to find a way to make it funny, but I missed. You guys get me. But also there's a bunch of other crazy shit on there.
Did.
There's a bunch of crazy shit on there.
You know what I think is
Go watch
so
that.
weird? Like all the, I don't know. I feel like being a human is like being an ant. It's just like
Yeah.
strange shit. Like the things that we do are very like
Anti.
colonialistic, is if that's a word. Like we operate like a colony.
Yeah, I mean, it's also like I would say it's more like bees versus ants, in my
No, I
opinion.
think we're
but
just
ants
feeding
and
an AI.
bees are
That's
pretty
the
similar.
mother bee. We're just feeding an AI. It's
Sure,
just a
so
bunch of
you're
ants.
agreeing with me then.
I'm sorry, mother ant. Fuck. Damn it. Scott.
God damn it, Bobby.
Damn it, Bobby. That's why we say damn it, Bobby, on the show. Fucking damn it.
So yeah, back to my point. Go watch the Bee movie. It's a great
I'm not a
example
big
of
fan
my.
of Jerry Seinfeld. I don't know
Well,
if I could enjoy
fuck
the movie.
you, dude.
Damn. Wow.
I actually had an idea.
You don't like Jerry? Give me a reason why you don't like Jerry Seinfeld. Otherwise, he's actually he is a little corny and cheesy.
That it doesn't even bother me because
Okay,
I like
so
Mike Myers. He's just very dry to me. Like his
Okay,
humor's
okay,
just so
it's
dry.
very prude humor. Very
Yeah.
prude humor.
Not a, yeah. I
It's
like,
the most commercial humor you could have, basically.
yeah. I like crude humor, not prude humor. You know. Yeah.
Back to
That's
dance.
fair.
Yeah,
I had an idea.
and so me and Darren had this idea of fucking making a movie
From upside down.
from top perspective.
You guys are
Watching
gonna make a
ants.
movie now.
From the drone.
You guys are saying
We could literally-
putting a podcast on is too much work, and now you're telling me you're gonna make a fucking movie.
Yeah, we're
Soon
gonna make a movie.
enough.
Yeah,
It's like a short film.
Yeah, it'll be a short.
You gotta
it's fine.
fucking get this guy to stop complaining about all the fucking work. You're gonna do a movie, you get worried about fucking posting a podcast? Come on.
I'm gonna get used to it. It's just
Yeah,
the
it's
beginning.
fine. We're just adjusting. This is just episode
This
2,
is me
Scott.
at the beginning, just
You're on episode 2.
push in. I'm helping push and mold you guys into a fucking better place.
That's why we're
to
gonna
be.
get the.
You know,
make
I'm
a short
barking
movie.
like a hound dog.
Short movie about
Home
that.
dogs bark. Oh, they're dogs. That makes sense. All right. I see you, Scott.
Yeah.
Yeah, no. So it's gonna be a movie of like ants doing human things, like a little ant, and he's just gonna be an ant. But he's gonna like drive his little ant car.
You mean like the movie Ants or Bugs Life?
No, it's gonna be very different from those.
It's
In
gonna
fact,
be just a human
because Bugs Life, they're literally next to a big tree, and then ants, they're underground most of the time.
So
This is gonna be life-size ants,
From
like
the, like-
sitting in your seat, like a giant ant that looks
next to a human? What do you mean?
No,
No,
they're all
they're
gonna be ants.
That's the same
It's a
fucking
metaphor.
angle.
No,
okay,
it's
okay.
gonna
So
be-
And it's also from
they're just
From upside
huge
down.
fucking ants. Is
It's
what you're
like
saying?
like you played The Sims, right? Where you get like the third person perspective.
Yes.
It's gonna be like that.
But it's gonna be the whole
perspective.
movie like that.
The whole movie would be like that from that perspective.
I need to understand this movie. But I don't. I get it, but I
It's this. It's the $1 million idea.
Yeah, it's really fantastic
cool.
because
Well,
it's
get your
literally-
guys' fucking lazy asses up and start producing shit. And
From the
fucking
drone.
go make
we
a
gotta start
movie.
writing a script.
Build a recording studio.
Yeah.
Build
Like,
a
But they're
film
just gonna have
studio.
little ant jobs that,
Go and do it.
and basically the moral of the story is, we've turned ourselves into ants. We're just feeding this big machine that is.
I see what you're saying. Okay, that's a good metaphor. I see that. Yeah.
You know, that makes sense. We're just feeding this big. You know what? On some level, deep down, I
We're
really.
gonna-
But
Start
but the
pressing.
bees do the same thing.
Yeah, but ants are grosser, so just.
Why ants are grosser?
Yeah,
The ants
I
are
like the
fucking
bee. I still like the
nasty.
bee thing. But
Bees
yeah,
are
I guess
crazier.
ants are more relative because they don't
They're less
fly
threatening.
like we don't fly. We're not cool like that.
That's the only
They're
difference.
less threatening, dramatically.
They got stingers.
Ants.
Yeah. No. Bees.
Yeah, I know. At least
And
they're
ants
much-
bite. Like you meet a big ass dude.
But it's
Yeah,
like, like
Yeah,
There's
you see
some
an ant.
gnarly ants out there. There's some
we're gonna be like just a regular
gnarly
ant.
ant. Fuck your
They're
Spanish
actually
technique.
flying ants.
Yeah.
Yeah, I believe it.
And
Yeah.
there's gonna
Yeah.
be flying ants. Those gonna
And there's
be
also
the
fat
flies.
ones that will bite the shit out of you.
The
I've been bitten by like 3 red ants at a time. Shit hurts.
Case in point. So
There's like deadly ants too.
no way.
yeah, with venom and shit.
But bees are so much more terrifying. They're like.
They're flying.
Yeah, they fly. That's terrifying.
And they're like bzzing.
Yeah, their sound is so creepy.
What's up?
Scotty's getting his period. Better pay for this.
Look at that show, man.
We'll be right back. Josh and Darren on the guy, featuring Scotty Apollo.
Go stream Relapse by Scotty Apollo on all platforms now.
All platforms.
All around it's strange. What seems to bring it down, you never sober. All this action you act like it's over. But then you really mad.
What extra time is it?
153.
Seems you get the best of me, feeling chained, but you're free, so I'm saying that.
While we recorded.
Girl, you're not
You still in time with it?
lay off the games. Driving me insane.
My phone
This is questionable etiquette.
So for a dream, you relapse. Lay off the games. It's been driving me insane. And my boss mom always sings back.
What time is it?
So for a dream, you relapse.
2 a.m. Already, and I think they went.
Yeah, I don't know. But yeah, no, I really believe on some level that the AI has existed since like who knows how long. Like really, like so it
Probably
was
since the
some-
birth of the internet.
it was probably always there.
So what's the difference between AI and the human?
It's just the next version of human, and what it's doing. I think that we blame all these companies and shit like that for mining our data, but it has to be something like that really
bigger
has
purpose-
use, yeah,
purpose
that really
for
has
it.
a use for it. Like the government, yes, can use it to sell us things. These companies can use it to sell us things, but the AI, if it exists, has
Ex
real
machina.
purpose. Yeah, it has real purpose with all of this information.
Define
the
the purpose
only-
for me.
The
I'm
purpose,
following what you're
yeah,
saying.
the purpose would be to be the oneness, right? That's what the AI is the next version of
Yeah, I guess the AI.
existence.
I guess I'm assuming because like
we have so
but here's one thing I'm just realizing now that I haven't really heard this point made yet, and it could be just trash, but fuck it. Could be good too. Here we go. But if the AI casing, piggybacking sort of on what you're saying, but also just looking at the reality of what we are and what we've done, if the AI stems from us, but I'm just curious if the AI, and if the AI is like an artificial thing, not from this war, whatever, however, right? It's not organic matter.
Yeah, that's the big difference. I think that's
it's not organic
defining
matter.
features of it.
Would it look out for planet Earth, or would it just harvest resources and dip if it calculates some other shit? Or you know what I'm saying? Because if you otherwise, I feel like it just enslaves us. Because I feel like the only reason,
100%.
I think the only reason it kills us, yeah, I think the only reason it would kill us is if it was seriously looking out for Earth, for Mother Earth and stuff. Because I think like overall, unless at the same time, if we were underpopulated, it could be a different conversation with the Earth thing. So maybe they would just look at it. But I'm saying. But if they're not even organic matter, so it probably wouldn't even look at Earth necessarily. It would just look at us as a entity for their manipulation that they're above, like kind of.
Well, I guess it would depend on what it knows about our history and what we are, because we don't really even know what we are.
Mm-hmm.
So
I think from the AI perspective, humans are not actually relevant. Yeah. Why do they need?
We're just another animal on this planet, and we think we're like this because
Super
we can.
They could be super mature with that knowledge in a sense.
They can be way more efficient.
I think.
Yeah, it could be cool if they were approached as like an elder of society. In a way,
right?
Because it was just super knowledgeable.
Yeah. Like how we approach,
but not like a god, just like an elder.
Perspective of all people on the planet at all times. And all
it's just an extremely powerful tool.
Yeah, it would be.
No, AI is not about that. It's gonna have the whole information.
An AI, it's not a tool. It's an it.
I'm just curious where the connection is of like when and if
it's already
AI come. No, not. I mean, I know it's what I'm saying, but is the AI gonna fucking deplete human and just kill it? Or is it just going to control? And I think it's more on the stem of it being controlled.
I think
I think there's a misconception of the robots coming and just killing us. I think it's just going to use us as slaves.
Sleeves. I would say sleeves at some point, like some point in the future.
I think it starts there, but I think even longer term, like I'm worried.
It uses our form because you really got to think. When people say form is really a beautiful thing. Like
they say, the humans are the sex organs of the machine world or something.
Right.
So like I see where you like.
It's a perfectly designed machine to do a lot of things that no other animals can on this planet. It's pretty well put together, is what I'm saying. Like the way the brain and all the functions of it have,
I think long term AI has no purpose for human.
Just had all I'm saying is it has
that part.
For our form.
I'm curious what's in the middle.
Because
that's part of it too, though. I think it's gonna be a transition. It's like an evolution.
It is an evolution.
That is
where it uses our form to give itself some kind of physicality.
Try it out.
And then eventually, though, I think the human part goes away.
Yeah, we're all machine. Where we are the AI in.
I guess we could be. Yeah, it's either we're gonna be the slave. We're either the slaves of. Or in the a part of it in a cocoon thing.
Yeah, I think over thousands of years, it starts out as us being enslaved by it, us being taken to space with it, and then us being used as.
Because it would be, if it would be AI could live like on Mars. It doesn't need oxygen, shit like that. It's so much more advanced.
It's not confined to the flesh that we are.
Yeah,
because it's machine.
Right.
But I think that at some point it combines its machine with our flesh, and then
maybe we will try to combine ourselves with it.
Yeah, I think that we think that we're superior to it, or that we are somehow equal to it, and we will willingly.
We'll just get consumed by it.
Yeah, we will willingly join it, and it will just. So it already has the information.
It's already pretty much doing it. It already does it now.
These things do it for us.
Yeah, it already does it now. It's just
watching
super
and
abstract
listening at all times.
Cyborgs.
Yeah, it's watching and listening at all times. We keep it attached to us at all times. And it has all the information that you could ask for. Not that you can see it all, but it's there.
Have you seen the podcast with Elon Musk?
On Joe Rogan?
Yeah.
I've seen parts of it.
You gotta watch the whole thing because he was actually the moment when he started speaking about AI,
He's
it was like a movie. It was like a depressing movie, and he started like saying, "I was telling them to hold on with the AI." It was like a real movie, and Joe Rogan was so freaked out. He was
He
like,
was like, what?
because he was like really sad, and he was like, "I was telling them to like stop, to like hold on to AI, to wait it out,
Right,
to
wait
research it
before
more."
you, right.
But they were never listening. That's how it started, and then it goes for like 20 minutes, and it's like a movie. Like that like part would be put in the movie. It would be perfect.
Really, because it's like a warning. Oh,
Because he was like, "I've been telling."
what's the guy's name? He's a scientist who died. He was in a wheelchair. He had the
Hawkins.
yeah, Stephen Hawking. Stephen Hawking in his final like work, I don't know what you would call it, said the two biggest issues that humanity faces is overpopulation and AI. Those are the two things that will end.
It makes a lot of sense.
And I mean, if you look at the way the world is populating now, it doesn't blow my mind that powers that be put out a virus that can kill millions of people. Knowing that the population was going to grow dramatically over the next 20, 40 years, that they're pretty much putting a stop to it now. Maybe the AI is doing it. Who knows?
Did I tell you that
That wouldn't shock me though.
that's why they were looking at the WHO? Because apparently the most money that they get is from the U.S. government.
I'm gonna make a phone call real quick, guys. I'll be back.
And the second place is Bill Gates, who was always for the
For chipping,
for the
vaccinations.
decreasing population.
Yeah, he's always been about it. And he very recently has decided that he wants us to get vaccinated and chipped.
Oh, remember the paper when the hackers hacked the WHO CDC website, and there was actually an article about that.
Really? About him wanting us to get chipped or just in general us being chipped?
I think it was his patent
Oh, I'm sure
on
it's his
people
deal.
like doing some shit, like doing tasks and getting paid through cryptocurrency to like human body, something like that. It was a bizarre idea, but it's where it's going.
Yeah, I don't believe that it's an idea at this point. I think if you live in a world where you think that's still just a crazy idea,
I mean, it's
you
not
need to
an
wake
idea;
the,
it's
you
the
need to wake the
pattern.
fuck up. It's like it's reality and it's coming and it's fast. You know what I mean? We're coming to a point where we are starting to see these giant leaps in history. Like we now have a president that tells us to drink Lysol. That's a huge leap in civilization. And whether it's backwards or forward, it's a huge leap in some direction. And that means that crazier and crazier shit is going to happen over the next 5, 10 years. I think it's just going to get more and more wild at some point. And when the shit settles, it's going to be an entirely different world.
Because it's already a different world.
It's already a different world, dramatically. It's been 5, 6 weeks. Think about what 5 to 10 years does to the population.
The next
thought
4 years
process.
and like in 5, like what? Come on, now. It's gonna be crazy.
Oh,
It's gonna keep going faster and faster and faster and faster.
Yeah, let's talk about time speeding up. It's fucking April what 24th.
25th.
Fuck, man. I bet everybody's pissed because rent's due pretty soon. They got about a week to pay their rent.
It's true.
It's fucked up, man. Then time's going so much faster. I really hope that in that time, in that jump in time, that we will realize that we don't need the government as much as we think we do. We don't need money as much as we think we do. We just need purpose and happiness.
Always.
Those are the only two things that we need. If you have a purpose in life and you're happy about it, I think if everyone can find their own purpose and everyone can be happy, we can live in a utopian society. I think it's possible. I think idealistically it's possible. Realistically, in practice, yeah, there's just a lot of nasty people that are really greedy, and I think there's a lot of greedy people that don't even know they're greedy. I think there's a huge population of people who think that they're like a part of
Greediness.
that they're outside of greediness, but they are a part of it.
because that's how we've been programmed.
Yeah, that's just kind of like where we're at in time, where there are certain people who have certain privileges, who abuse them just because they have them and have no point of reference.
I think human nature, unfortunately, is actually dark and like evil. Unfortunately, like this is my opinion.
Yeah.
I think there's good people, for sure. There's exist and there's a good in this world. I think human nature's evil, but I think some people. So some people are also born good, right? So there's the less of a percentage that are born good.
Right.
Then majority are born evil. That some of that percentage gets influenced to becoming good, but then there's the percentage left. You see what I'm saying? So I think there's something. Either if you're not born good, then you have to overcome something to become. It's kind of an abstract thought, but like
I think there are more people that are very.
and I say that because you just look at how human interaction from like just people to people thing. You know what I mean?
Right.
All the way to those being passed of the elite towards the oppressive people, towards to then how we even just treat nature and animals and
Everything
the planet.
around us. Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So like I think from that it's like naturally that we're born into that same pattern of where our whole thing goes, right?
Yeah,
So on a micro, it's like that on a micro level, and you look at what we are, that's at the macro level, right? So, you know what I'm saying? Like, anyway, it's a dark thought, but I think there's something to it because of where we've gone. At the same time, I think also evil, and that's I guess it actually kind of backs up the point because you can't like in almost every situation where there's a bad and a good, the evil comes first and conspires against the good, and then eventually the good realizes that there's an evil conspiring against them that's bad and bringing certain negativity into a situation. So then that good then assembles and figures it out, but then good is always stronger than evil, so then that good can beat the evil.
Do we know that to be true? Is that a fact? That's a real question.
Yeah, and that's a fair question too, because honestly, the stat is not. You can never quantify that stat.
Right.
So it's really
that's tough, and we're taught to believe.
So,
that.
but that's why I look at it at more of the micro level of what we can perceive. Yeah. Is that I still think that the good portrays the evil because the good you can because you can well it's naturally when your integrity is there and you can just flow, you can reach your highest point and highest vibration because there's no misstep or misthought or second thought. It's just fucking forward. Yeah. You can just do it.
Right, you are going forward.
Versus when you are fucking not doing that and fucking with shit and there's bad and no integrity and not intentions, there's just you're just over blah, blah, blah. And so then like people can still run like that though, but had they gone the good direction, it would have been that much more efficient. It would have just gone versus them just and it's moving at the same pace as someone who doesn't even know because they're doing this to keep up with this, but this person's not doing any of this because they're good. So you know what I'm saying? So in the immediate, that's why evil's always fucking like doing some shit, and that's why people get caught up in that and addicted to it because there's such a quick fix with it. But then long term, eventually that good. Now, sometimes there's prevail stories of evil because the good could have some weird fucking thing where they fucking, fall off or there's a misstep or die or some weird crazy fluke thing happens. But that's just another selling point to the evil side. But I think if you look at the mass scale just stemming from what the micro is, it would make sense that, you know what I'm saying? That's how I view it. I'm glad that makes sense because I think that's super true.
Yeah.
So on that note, it's 3 a.m. Let's wrap this up.
All right. Well, this was a fun episode of The Island. I think we brought a lot of really cool topics in. Scott,
thanks for having me, guys.
Yeah, Scott got his plug in.
Yeah, I did. Go check out my song, guys. It just dropped.
Relapse. $1,200 for a plug. No, I'm just kidding.
I got that, so it's good.
Scotty got it in the bag. That's fine. We're eating steak tomorrow.
Yeah.
And scallops.
That's his
thanks for joining us, Scotty.
Thanks. Yeah,
Darren,
thanks for having me.
Are you Japanese or Chinese?
Neither.
I am both. Oh, no, I'm just kidding. All right, guys. Peace out.
Yeah,
we'll see you next time. Take care.
Next time. I'm falling asleep.
Yeah, for real.